This is the Sports Source, presented by Junk Be Gone. Now, your host, John Pennington.
Good Sunday morning. Welcome into the Sports Source. This is our last show of our 16th season. We start our 17th season of UT football and then UT athletic coverage next week. And if you know this show, you know that the last show we do in August every year is our All VFL Spectacular. So that's what we've got today. We got 7 former Vols here. Also got an important segment we do each year. So get the guys around. If you're ladies watching, get the sons, get the brothers, get the fathers, get the husbands, get everybody in there to watch this segment that we're going to do a little bit later. But we're going to talk about the season ahead in a lot of different directions, and there's some news right off the top that we'll discuss as well. Let's get right into this thing. First segment of our program is brought to you by my friends at Junk Be Gone, and I've been telling you about them because I've used them for a long, long time. Every spring and summer, the folks in my neighborhood see the big dumpster arrive at the Pennington house. They do great work for me. They could do great work for you, whether it's dumpster rental, whether it's junk removal, where they load it up for you and take it out, paper shredding for your company, demolition and the removal of big objects. If you need a shed gone, a barn gone, garage gone, boat gone, they can do it. Junk Be Gone. All right, let me welcome in round one of our esteemed panel today. We have former Vol kicker right here, Fuad Reveiz, back with us. We have right there former Vol defender, Shazan Bradley. Good to have you here. Former Vol defender, J.J. Surlis right there. And right down there, former Vol offensive lineman, former Vol defensive lineman, tight end for a spell too, Daniel Hood back with us. Guys, thank you for joining us today. Let's start by simply talking about the Derek Ansley hire. Tennessee, last year, Jeremy Pruitt comes in, first year. Already, after one offseason, he decides, you know what, I need to make a change with my defensive and offensive coordinator. So he brings in Derek Ansley, who he knew from Alabama. And he also decided to give up play calling duties on defense, something he said last year he'd never do. And he's doing it after 1 year. Do you take that as a positive or a negative that is it a panic that he's making these moves already, or is it a good sign that he says, I've already spotted issues and I'm going to fix them? Where are you coming down on this?
I think it's great. You have to do that because as a head coach, there's so much you got to be involved with. There's so many decisions, the management of the calling, the management of the game itself. So much goes into what happens during the game that a head coach needs to be focused on all what's going on. If you are a defensive coordinator, you only have one job. It's a big job, but that one job that you have is to make sure that the play calling is correct, and you got to have your absolute attention to what the details are to calling your play. So I think it's a good thing. And the sign of true leadership is the man that realizes, you know what, I'm short on this area, I need to change, and that's what he did.
Agreed. Guys?
Well, one thing about position coaches, they're technicians. They teach kids how to play in their spot, cover their space. With Jeremy Pruitt, he's a head coach. He sees the whole picture. Everybody can't see the whole picture. He sees the whole picture, and when you see the whole picture, he kind of walks around and picks out, hey, this guy here, he done this. This guy here, he's doing this. Stop him from doing that. So that's kind of what he's doing. He's kind of loosening up, letting his coaches handle the situation, and he just stay over the top, make sure that everything's going okay.
You guys agree it's a good move?
I think it's a great move. Obviously the philosophies are similar, so the guys they're on the same page. Lets him oversee everything, and gives opportunity to another guy to step up and do his job.
Daniel?
I'm hopeful about it. I think with this decision, we're going to be able to find out if he's going to be more the Butch Jones type where the coordinator could crash him if he leaves, or if he is a Nick Saban type, whether he brings in Lane Kiffin or any other offense coordinator, it seems to stay the same. So I hope to see him run his defense and it would be called his way, but I'm kind of cautious going into it.
It'll also be interesting to see, it's one thing to let off the reins a little bit, which they said he was delegated much more this offseason. It's one thing to do that in the offseason. If they're in a dogfight in the fourth quarter with BYU, is it as easy not to run back in and say, here, do this? That'll be interesting. I had hoped, and we were talking right before this show started, right before the cameras came on, usually this is our big fun show of the year. Everything's happy, happy, joy, joy. And today there's a cloud that blew in over things, in case you haven't seen it. Tennessee, really good freshman cornerback last year, sophomore this year. Bryce Thompson arrested for domestic assault, charged with domestic assault. We'll see how that plays out. A witness heard him at the scene saying he threatened to shoot up the school. So doesn't sound like this is going to be something that's taken care of before the opener against Georgia State, but we'll see how Jeremy Pruitt handles it. You throw that in, you throw in the Aubrey Solomon thing, who could be your best defensive lineman, and he's still not cleared. But even Jeremy Pruitt's now starting to hint a little bit. He says, I don't know if Michigan's cleared him or not. I clear people. I don't know if they have. I think everybody thinks that Jim Harbaugh is kiboshing this one. So you don't have Solomon. Emmett Gooden's already gone down. And in case you missed this one, Daniel Batuli had a knee procedure, so you got a scope this week. They've taken Jeremy Banks back from running back and put him back at linebacker. So what is that, his fourth move, back and forth? Batuli's out 10 to 17 days. Guys, this team just doesn't have a ton of depth. They need, for once, to catch some breaks.
Yeah.
And going into the season here in August, I don't feel like they're catching the breaks. And I hate to hit you guys with that as the opener to our fun show, but your thoughts from a defensive standpoint, just bodies, you keep running out of them, it seems, even before the season gets started. Thoughts, Daniel, or anybody?
We're already running thin. We really can't afford to lose anybody. And DBs are hard to find. That's like finding the diamond in the rough. And one thing about it, two things you can't do as a young athlete. You can't be women, number one. Number two, no guns. And you just can't allow those things. You cannot allow that.
And when you're, and again, not guilty yet, but when you're charged with domestic assault and that witness says that, it is going to be taken seriously by Philip Fulmer and by Jeremy Pruitt. The situation, Daniel.
I think we turn around and just be excited that we're going to have another season kind of similar to the 2012 season, where you get to see Tennessee maybe win some games or lose some games 42-35. So hopefully Coach Cheney comes in, puts a ton of points on the board, and it's at least fun to watch.
Yeah, you're the only person who'd ever say, maybe it'll be fun like Sal Sinceri's defense. Yeah, all right.
We don't need the negativity like that,
Right.
with anything around a program right now. It's bad enough we're not winning games, let alone bring the negativity of somebody being arrested. It's just not good.
But would you guys agree that we really don't know our head coach right now, and this is a good test for him to understand or let us know how he's going to handle it? Because it's very easy to dwell on the negative. The other flip side of that is, as you all know around good coaches, they want to look at what we have, what's in front of us, the talent that we have, and focus on what we have here in front of us, how we're going to make them play better, and they need to step up to another level to be able to take over for the guys that are not there. So we'll see what kind of a leadership we're going to have here very soon, very quickly.
Only thing we really need to know is Jeremy Pruitt is a true country boy. He's going to undersell and he's going to own the lip. I promise you that one. He's going to undersell and own the lip, boys. Hold on.
That's the way to go, right?
Hold on, boys. Hold on.
Very good. All these guys will be back with us a little bit later in the show as we're going to mix these guys up, rotate people in and out. Coming up next, though, I've got some guys from the offensive side of the ball. They want to have their chance to talk. We'll talk about the return of Jim Chaney and the offensive line next on the Sports Source.